Hey everyone! Today we're continuing with sneaker repairs. In the last video, I went into great detail on how to repair a puncture and pump air back into an Air Max bubble. Using a pair of Air Max 720s I deliberately stabbed with a nail. That was kind of a perfect world scenario, but today is the complete opposite. Today we're working on a pair with real-world issues. These are Air Max 95 Ultras. They actually look like they're in pretty good shape at first glance, but trust me, they've got plenty going on underneath. Let's take a closer look. So, one shoe is totally fine bubble-wise, meaning they haven't deflated. But the rear bubble is starting to delaminate. That can happen sometimes if there are deep scratches or scuffs and the shoes are worn a lot in wet weather. It's not losing air, still holding up fine. It's just the thermoplastic polyurethane separating a bit. More of a cosmetic thing at this point. I'll need to fix that to stop more water from getting in. Unfortunately, there's no way to make it completely invisible at this stage, but functionally, it'll be totally fine. Now the other shoe, that's where things get serious. Both rear side bubbles are completely deflated. Well, technically it's one bubble. They're connected by an internal channel and work as a single unit. The rear bubble is fine though, that one's separate and doesn't connect to the sides. I've got a feeling this repair is gonna be tricky, because I couldn't find any visible punctures in the sole. But either way, they need fixing. Let's take a look inside the bubble. And yeah, lots of cracks and damage in there. Classic case of water getting trapped between the bubble and the outsole material. If you've repaired Air Maxes before, you know this is one of the nastiest types of damage. We're talking dozens, maybe hundreds, of tiny cracks, and most likely only one of them is actually leaking air. Figuring out which one? Practically impossible. Best you can do is guess it's somewhere around the area that looks the most beat up. To make things worse, there's this thin channel connecting the two side bubbles. You can see the damage running all along the outside of it, but what's going on inside? No idea. And right in the middle of that channel, there seems to be another little tube branching off. Probably used for inflating at the factory, then heat-sealed shut at the end. On something like the Air Max 720, that spot often fails first. Those factory seals just love to give up for some reason. There's no universal step-by-step for this kind of situation. I'll just have to play it by ear and figure it out as I go. Worst case scenario? I might have to completely cut that channel out of the system, and then we'd end up with 3 separate rear bubbles instead of one connected setup. You can already tell where the water got in just by looking at the damage pattern, and the other side's probably the same story. Alright, time to hook up the pump I built in the first video and put some pressure in. I'm curious to see what happens. Not that it'll tell me exactly where the leak is, especially if it's inside, but at least I'll know for sure there's no external puncture I missed. So, where's the air going? Look at that. The air's escaping from completely random spots, which is pretty typical for this kind of internal damage. But hey, now we can clearly see all the weak points where the sole has separated from the bubble and where water's been getting in. No point trying to fix all that now. First, find and seal the actual leak in the bubble itself. Then, at the very end, I'll glue everything back down properly so water stays out for good. I think I'll start with these 2 spots, right and left side. They're the most accessible and the most suspicious. The sole is so separated there that a toothpick slides in about halfway with no effort. Getting my tools ready, the ones I covered in detail in the very first video. I'll shorten the needles and bend them so it's comfortable to apply solvent and glue. I usually turn on my phone's flashlight, press it right up against the sole, and kill the room lights. That way you can clearly see what's going on inside. Through the camera, it's way harder to capture. My phone's autofocus definitely wasn't designed for filming the inside of sneakers, but I'll do my best. Applying a bit of solvent, making sure it's evenly spread. This dissolves the outer layer of the bubble. Then I do the same with the glue. The glue bonds with the partially dissolved surface, creating a really strong seal. Unlike the bubble material itself, the glue I'm using doesn't break down from moisture. It's completely stable. Any excess glue that got on the outside? Easy wipe with some alcohol on a cotton swab while it's still wet. No rush though, it takes a day or two to fully cure. Repeat the same process on the other side for the second bubble. Then let it all dry overnight. A few hours later, and honestly, you can barely tell anything was done. Water's definitely not getting in there anymore. And I'm really hoping the leak was somewhere in one of these spots I just patched. Let's pressurize it again and see what happens. Problem somewhere else, somewhere I couldn't reach. Nothing's changed. Looking closer, I found another spot that looks promising. Or problematic. Depends how you see it. Gonna try fixing this one and see if that does the trick. Only way to get to it is from the inside, so I'll have to make a small hole in the bubble to reach it. Making an opening in a spot that won't be visible later and as close to the damage as possible. Solvent first, then glue, same routine. Back in the day, I used to properly seal up the holes I made for internal repairs from the inside. Turns out, you don't really need to. By the time I pulled the syringe out, first with solvent, then with glue, the hole was already sealed from the inside. The trick? Right before fully pulling the syringe out, I give it one last push so the hole fills completely and a little bit of glue oozes out the other side. I once patched up 10 holes like that in a single shoe, and they never caused any issues for as long as they were worn. So yeah, that's the method. After a while, the glue settles, the surface smooths out, and it's barely noticeable. Leaving it to dry overnight again. Tomorrow we'll see what I've done. Alright, another test. And same old song. Nothing changed. Problem's still somewhere else. If I look closely, there are a couple more spots that might be cracked, but they're so tiny compared to what I've already patched. Honestly, I think it's time for a more radical approach. I'm pretty convinced now. The issue is inside that channel connecting the two bubbles. So I'm cutting it out of the system. Honestly, it won't change much, except now each bubble will have to be inflated separately. But hey, silver lining. If one gets punctured later, the other stays intact. So there's that. But how do you seal an entire channel like that? The glue would just flow right through into the other bubble before it even has a chance to set. Plus, it'd take a ton of expensive glue just to fill that volume. So here's the trick. I'm using Poxapol cold weld. It's thick enough that it won't run anywhere, and it hardens in minutes. That said, I wouldn't rely on it as an airtight seal. So here's the plan. I'll load it into a separate syringe and create 2 small plugs, one on each side of the channel, just deep enough to block it. Their only job is to hold the actual repair glue in place while it cures and stop it from draining into the channel. About 20 minutes after applying the Poxapol, I can move on to the standard routine, solvent, then glue on both sides of the channel. Gotta do it in 2 stages, can't flip the shoe until one side dries. Now for the moment of truth, testing both bubbles separately. Left bubble, holding up perfectly. Right one too. Turns out the problem really was inside that channel. Should have done this from the start, but hey, hindsight's 20/20. Now I'll inflate both bubbles as usual. After that, I still need to check all the seams where air was escaping and water was getting in, and seal them properly. Actually, better yet, I'll just go ahead and reseal all the seams on every bubble. Because if I don't, the same thing will eventually happen in other spots down the line. I'll quickly inflate both bubbles and let everything sit and cure. While one shoe's drying, time to deal with the delamination on the other bubble. I'm not gonna remove the flaking TPU, because the bubble has that slightly matte finish, and the glue is glossy. So I'll just carefully apply solvent and glue right into the gaps. Main thing, don't melt through the bubble. Yep, that's happened before. And trust me, you don't want to spend another few days patching holes and reinflating. The material there is really thin. To hold everything in place while it sets, I'm using a little trick, thread. I'll remove it once the glue is partially cured, but not so hard that I can't peel it off. And I can take them off one by one without messing up the repair. Here's how it turned out. Yeah, you can see it a bit under this microscope level lighting, but out on the street, it'll be practically invisible. The main thing is, it won't get worse now. Once I clean off the excess glue, it'll look even better. Meanwhile, time to take out the little screws I used to pressurize the bubbles. Just in case, I'll fill the holes with glue afterward. Not strictly necessary, but better safe than sorry, keeps water and dirt out down the road. And finally, I'll go over every seam between the bubble, the outsole, and the midsole and reg-glue them. Even the ones that still look fine. Because maybe in a month, maybe in a year, they'll end up just like the ones I had to fix today. And trust me, the front bubbles? Way harder to repair. You can't see anything inside them. Now it's all good. These shoes are gonna last a long time. And honestly, the look didn't suffer much. Sure, they're clean and I'm filming under bright lights, but out on the street, during normal wear, you'd never notice the repairs. So yeah, I'm calling this one done. Thanks for watching, everyone.